What is up, everybody? Superverse TV here today, and once again, these leaked emails got people in their feelings once again. Microsoft is the evil, bad corporation because they want to buy exclusives, so when exclusive games to their platform again. It's just funny how, like, this guy says, this is a pretty good summary. PlayStation good, Xbox bad, and this is from the very notorious fanboy right here, MBG. He went on a whole rant. Apparently he did a stream talking about the whole leaked emails and how Microsoft was going to possibly buy Nintendo. And he just goes on and on about how Microsoft is just so bad for the industry. Now, with the whole Nintendo comment, that was the thing. They like a bucket list that they could buy Nintendo. And I was like, I wouldn't care. I mean, I kind of don't want Nintendo to be part. I think it's fine with three major competitors like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. Each one of them having their own thing, but the problem with Nintendo is that they make great first-party games, but it's some of this weak, like, archaic hardware at this point. Because I would love to play Nintendo games and not on Nintendo Switch. And it's like, you can't do that legally. You can do it. You can pirate or emulate their games on PC, but it's not a legal route to do though. So I kind of wish you could just play their games on better hardware, whether it be an Xbox or PlayStation, or whether Nintendo makes a better functioning device. See, whichever option. I just want to play their games on better hardware. But let's listen to this guy's rant about Microsoft being the bad company they are.
There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. And that, I think, helps highlight the point I'm trying to make here when it comes to the concern surrounding Microsoft. People can get as upset as they want about the third-party games that Sony has locked down as exclusives. And that's fine. I think it's a good reason to get upset. If you're an Xbox owner or you're on PC and you find out a certain game that would have come to your platform is not because Sony paid to keep it off, usually timed for a year, on rare occasions, sometimes not. Sometimes it's permanent. It's a good reason to be upset. But no matter how upset you get about that, people need to understand. I don't care how much of a fanboy you are. I don't care how much you want to just continue to ride Microsoft and Phil Spencer and Game Pass. I don't care. You need to accept, because it's just the fucking truth, that what Sony has done when it comes to buying third-party exclusivity is not the same as
the
buying
BS right there. So if you enjoy playing Spider-Man games, you can't do that past PS4 era of PlayStation because they made that character an exclusive property to their platform. So you can't do that anymore. But it's not the same because you can't play Spider-Man on Xbox and they can't play Starfield on PlayStation. So it's not the same apparently. Microsoft is way worse. Or if you're a fan of Final Fantasy 15, you're on Xbox One, you can't play the sequel on your Xbox Series X because Sony decided to say, hey, we want this game to be exclusive to our platform. So apparently it's not the same as guy, even though they're doing the same things, keeping games exclusive to their platform. But okay.
Video game publishers. Period. End of discussion. It is not the same. You know how I know people still don't get that? People still don't get that? Let me show you. Let me read it to you. I'm going to go over to my Twitter profile. I put out a tweet the other day. I said, Microsoft and Phil Spencer believe the gaming industry would be a better place if they owned Nintendo and Valve. What does that sound like to you? Imagine cheering that on and praising that mentality. And then this jackass responded to me, and he had 120. He got over 8,000 views on this reply and had over 123 people agree with what he said. Which this is why I have to continue to talk about this, because people they either don't understand or they don't want to understand. He says, compared to Sony paying to keep games off Xbox platforms, I swear you clowns try to be hypocritical for craps.
Yeah, because Sony pays to keep the game.
I had to reply to this.
Let me continue this first.
This guy. And this is the reply I have to give to all of these dumbasses. So you just compared Microsoft wanting to acquire Nintendo and Valve to Sony striking some third-party exclusivity deals, most of which are timed and then called me a clown?
Most aren't time. Most are like full-on exclusives. What is he talking about? Once again, there's a big difference that Microsoft just has more money to acquire publishers. Sony doesn't have enough revenue to acquire publishers, but acquire studios. They'll be doing the exact same thing if they were in the same position as Microsoft. Don't let them fool you. They'll be doing the exact same thing. So let's see.
Holy shit, dude. This is where we are. This is where we are. And you know, that's the thing. I really was thinking about this person's reply and all the people that agree with him. And I was thinking to myself, you know, this guy has either been brainwashed or just truly is that ignorant.
You want to talk about brainwashing? Talk about the consumers who are being charged more for their online service, which isn't as good as Game Pass, but they're willingly accepting it, paying $20 to $40 more for their subscription service, which isn't getting games day one in their service as well. I think that's brainwashing right there. When you go against a service that's giving you great AAA games like Starfield day one and Game Pass, when you're going against that and just praising Sony and their platform, I think that's being brainwashed. But to each their own. Okay.
It has to be one or the other, because you could tell with his reply he wasn't trolling, and you could tell maybe at least some people who agree with him weren't trolling either. And this is what concerned me, because it's like, dude, Microsoft has these people fucking brainwashed. Microsoft and their fan base have these people brainwashed. And
what is with the brainwashing term? Like, people just like Xbox. It's just that simple. And they're just okay with how business is being done. Like, if you're an Xbox player, you know you can't play Spider-Man on Xbox, so you just accepted it. Why can't they just accept the Xbox has exclusives? Now that you gotta buy an Xbox or a PC to play their exclusives. It's not brainwashing. It's not no Dr. Evil concoction. It's just business at this point. The way the industry has been going for the longest since its inception, that's how it is now. Microsoft just has more money. Get over it. I like how it's like this evil conspiracy that Microsoft just wants to buy everything up. That's just hilarious. When they actually got to deal with competition this generation. Unlike last generation, there's actual competition now. And they just complain nonstop.
And the reason why they're brainwashed, it's obvious. It's because they have convinced them that these things are the same. And that it's okay. It's okay that Microsoft's response is to send fucking emails where somebody like Phil Spencer says, Nintendo just doesn't realize their future exists outside of their own hardware. Are you fucking kidding me? This is...
Yes, because the vast majority of gamers don't want Nintendo first-party games being on stronger hardware. Like I said, whether it be Microsoft, PlayStation, or whether they make it, or whether Nintendo will still release a strong device, people would love to see Nintendo games on better hardware than a Switch, and it's just blatantly obvious at this point. So I don't see that as a far-fetched thing that Phil stated right there, to be honest. It's like their games have great potential, but it's stuck on this weak hardware. So
this is their champion. This is who they cheer on. This is their leader, man, where it's like, hey, Microsoft told me they're the same.
What is this leader nonsense? Phil Spencer is just the head of that company who makes great decisions for consumers like me to save money. I'm glad to have Starfield day one in Game Pass. And apparently from Tokyo Game Show, we're getting the Yakuza Like a Dragon game in Game Pass, and also the sequel, the other Like a Dragon game in Game Pass. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that. It's got Lies of P in Game Pass too, but that's bad to have. According to this guy, that's bad, but you're just brainwashed if you don't like that. But you're not brainwashed if you want to pay $20 to $40 more for a subscription service that's not on the same level. That's not being brainwashed though.
Sony is wrong. I'm not here to justify Sony's practices. I've already stated I would be totally fucking fine if Sony dropped third-party exclusivity today. I don't need third-party exclusivity to engage with the PlayStation platform and be happy.
Sony does. Like, what first-party games came out this year? Oh, Spider-Man 2? Like, really? And VR? Like, they need that third-party exclusivity because it's dry on that PlayStation.
About it. I don't. And frankly, I'm at a point where, considering how all of this has escalated, I don't want third party. Sony, please stop making third party deals.
Sure.
Because that's what they tell you, right? Oh, well, Sony deserves this. They had it coming. Well, what happens if Sony stops? Does Microsoft stop?
I like how he just makes it sound like competition is a bad thing now. Like, what is this? Like, this whole, like, Microsoft shouldn't compete. Microsoft was competing as bad, but they just want to steamroll like how it was last generation, whereas it's not the same as last generation. They made it very clear they want to compete. They're using Microsoft's money. It's like they're mad about it. It's like, too bad. It's just hilarious. It's all the crying when Microsoft actually competes with PlayStation. It's like they don't like it. It's like you can't really use Nintendo's competition because they make, like, you know, the Mario, the Zelda, those type of games that's like mostly kid friendly. But when they got to compete against Microsoft, who makes the same type of games as Sony, then they just don't like it because they actually have competition. And it's just hilarious just seeing this whining back and forth.
See, oh wait, no, they don't. They don't stop. Oh, that's right. We can't shake hands. There is no shaking hands because it won't stop. Phil's focused on his career-defining moment. I'm sure Jim is as well. I'm sure all of these executives are.
So what's the problem?
But again, the difference is Jim's not out here trying to fucking convince anybody of anything other than please just fucking buy our products, and we hope you're happy.
Okay.
Phil is out here because that's what they tell you, right?
Same thing Xbox is doing. It's telling you to buy their products. It don't got to be specifically on the Xbox, but you can buy it on PC as well too. And they have an issue with that for whatever reason. Once again, competition is good unless it's Microsoft. Bringing a competition in is bad, apparently. So, just hilarious. Oh man, I'm enjoying every second of these guys are just whining and crying about Microsoft actually competing, because once again, Sony, if it wasn't for Sony making these cutthroat exclusivity deals, then Microsoft wouldn't have to compete the way that they are, and them keep saying that Xbox has no games repeatedly for the past 5+ years. You kind of brought this upon yourselves at this point, so I'm enjoying all the saltiness and the tears from these Sony guys at this point. It is glorious. Joe Ryan would buy Nintendo if Sony could afford to do so. MBG should stop crying. He really should. And like Jim Ryan would definitely buy Nintendo. That's why they're making like bootleg ripoffs. Like they made the Splatoon Foam Stars ripoff of Square Enix. They would definitely do the same thing if they had the option to. Paying to stop games coming to rival platforms is the same as paying to stop games coming to rival platforms. Doesn't matter if you buy the game like Bloodborne, Final Fantasy VII Remake, by the studio like Insomniac/Rare, or by the publisher like Bethesda/Psygnosis, the outcome is identical. Yeah, it's the same thing. You're keeping games on the other platform. There's no difference. But in the Sony fanboy mind, they think that's the difference because you're not outright buying publishers. When it's like, you still can't play the games you want to play on your preferred platform. So it's the same thing. The PlayStation fan base is about to spontaneously combust. They're acting like it over this leaked emails. Like they are legit seething over these emails that leaked. It's like, didn't a lot of games come out recently? You would think they'd be focused on playing some of these big games that just came out. But nope, they're crying on social media about what Microsoft was doing. PlayStation Jim Ryan crying, Ryan, bend the knee. Okay. Where's the Final Fantasy VII Remake announced for Xbox? Yes, a beloved game like Final Fantasy VII, you can't play it on your Xbox. Or you can play the old version, you can't play the remake on your Xbox though. So, you know, but bad Microsoft though. Keeping games off that PlayStation. Meanwhile, Sony doesn't get criticized from their fan base. It's just fascinating how that works out. Looks like he's about to cry. So basically, exclusives on PlayStation Arcade, exclusives not on PlayStation is bad. Got it. Pretty much. What that 5-minute Saudi rant boiled down to. PlayStation good, Microsoft bad. Oh man. Too late now with the third-party deals. Xbox will finish this fight. PlayStation has started. Yes. Only reason why Starfield is on Xbox, why Bethesda's on Xbox, because Sony wanted to make Starfield an exclusive to PlayStation. So Microsoft fired back, and it's like they don't like the results of it. Too bad. When did Dreamcast guy dye his beard black? He's saying they're pretty much identical at this point. MBG still doesn't get it. No, buying a publisher is not the same as keeping third-party games away from Xbox. PS is a lot worse, yeah, because you can randomly just be enjoying a game like Final Fantasy 15 on your Xbox. Then oops, the next one is not on Xbox from PlayStation because PlayStation decided the money had it. So it's a big difference. The same results though. The amount of salt in these videos is insane. Imagine getting mad at a CEO for looking at every opportunity to grow their business like it's not the only thing they've been hired to do. Facepalm. Phil is doing his job. It's as simple as that. If it wasn't him, it would be someone else. Exactly. Guy think he is talking fact, but instead he is talking BS. Can't wait till 2027 when this trash can is gone. Dude is so delusional or in denial. And then what is this ridiculous comment? I'm not even about to read this nonsense right here. Who the F is this trash? MBG is a damn fool. Microsoft can't get the same level of deals as Sony can. The only way Microsoft can get a good deal is to buy in bulk, aka buy the whole studio / publisher. What a little b. This is one pathetic fanboy piece of crap. Jeez, they are not too happy about this guy's rant right here. He's right, it's not the same. What Xbox is doing is better. Buy the farm with all the animals. When you're in a different league, you don't rent, you buy. Like, it should be obvious too. Like, Microsoft has more money overall than Sony or PlayStation, so they can make more bigger moves. And it's like, what do you expect this company to do at this point? Like, they're getting roasted on social media for not having exclusives. So when they get exclusives, to counteract the roasting or the bad press, it's like people are mad about it because they want to see Sony in a positive light, and they can hate to see Xbox in that positive light. Sucks to suck. Oh, how time has changed. You hate to see it. Yes. Xbox has no games, and now Xbox has too many games. Of course, it's not the same because Sony pockets are not as deep as Microsoft. And I thought that would be obvious, but you know. Let's not pretend Sony isn't doing what Microsoft is doing out the kindness of their heart. Yes, he makes it seem like Sony is just saints, like they wouldn't do it if they have the opportunity to do so. If they had the money, they 1,000% do it. 1,000% do it, and you're delusional if you say otherwise. Yeah, I agree. So, I'm gonna conclude it right here. Oh man, this is just a glorious day. Who would have thought these leaks emails would bring so much salt? But yeah, these guys are definitely salty about this. So butthurt. It's just hilarious. But definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.